Hey folks, I am up at the property today. I come up to try to get a little bit of work done. It's raining. We had these storms come in this morning, and weather was pretty bad, pretty rough. So I come up here, since it was raining, and I come up here to try to work on the fence some while it's cool. Because it has certainly been warm, a little beyond warm lately. Got a lot done. Rosie's been helping me doing these tensioners to tension up the corners. And I don't have many left to do. In the front at the walkway, it's just a real short little strip right there. It's, I don't know, 35 or 40 feet. There's 5 poles, I believe, 5 or 6 poles right there. And I got to do a tensioner at the 2 poles by the house, the 2 poles at the end of that run. And then we got a gate there, so I got to do a tensioner. There's got to be a tensioner between every pole except for where the gate is hanging. And it's just how it worked out. But we got those to do. There's 5 right there. And I have, I've only got 2 corners left to do in the back. That would be the back east corner. I've got one there, and then I got the east front corner. So we got 4 tensioners there to put up. And then the 5 right there at the front little walkway. And we can just about put fence wire up. We can put it up everywhere except for the front run, because I have to leave that one section open so we can get the trailer in. And then I got to finish the goat area. I need 17 more poles to finish the goats. But anyhow, this ain't about the property, the work here. I'm just lost, guys. It's anytime it's rain and dark like it is today over here, it's just extremely eerie. The property is back here near the big woods where I'm going. But we have, make sure, got some articles. Brother Don sent me. It's been a while. Several weeks back he sent them to me, and I just haven't been able to get to them. But I'm not going to do no more work. I've got one more dry shirt, and then everything that I brought with me is wet. And this is wet, and I don't want to get wet no more. Not today. But it'll be raining tomorrow too. I'm going to try to get some work done if the lightning isn't too bad. But we're going to go back here and find somewhere to park. And I'll share some of these articles with you. I'm not going to get out of the truck because it's raining, and the microphone that I'm going to be using, I'm not using it right now because I'm very close to the camera, but I use the wireless microphone because it should cut out the noise of the raindrops hitting the truck. Off and on, it'll start raining real hard, and then it'll lighten up again, and I don't know if you can hear it over the engine noise. We're going to go over here. I'm going to park somewhere. We're going to get to some articles. Some crazy things that's been happening. Well, it's just odd. It fits in with all the other weird stuff that happens up here. I've got a camera mounted in front of the house, the new house, and it's covering the entire front section and the west end of the house. I've got a camera in the backyard covering the entire back of the house, and you could partially see both ends. It's closer to the east end, but you could see almost both ends. You can see the entire house. You just can't see the actual end panel, flat spot. Anyhow, we got these pictures and me and Rosie were looking at them, and there's faces in, I think it's 2 different pictures. A window in the back of the house and a window in the front. It happens to be Rosie's window, bedroom window. Had these bizarre faces, and there were multiple pictures. The camera sits in the same position, and if it detects movement, it takes a picture. If there's a temperature change directly in front of the camera, it'll take a picture, and it sends it to my phone. And I've had hundreds and hundreds of pictures of the front of the house. We haven't had but maybe 50 or so from the back of the house, because I just recently put that camera there. But I've never gotten anything in the windows of the house before. And we just recently got some stuff, and it just looks strange. When I found it, I was scrolling from the previous picture that showed nothing in it, and the next picture that had an image in it. And Rosie come in and seen I was looking at pictures, said, "Ooh, what do you got?" And she looked over my shoulder at the time that I was on the picture that had the face in it. She goes, "Ooh, there's a face in that window." She spotted it right away. And we zoomed in on it, and it's really odd looking. I have to go through my pictures. If I remember, I'll go through them, and I'll put the picture up. And it could very well be nothing. But I don't know why I got it in 2 different windows, one at the front of the house, one at the back, and I've never gotten it before. And if it takes a picture at night, it's the same picture. It looks the same every time. Trying to decide where to park at. It is 5:35 p.m. I think I'm gonna go back here. But anyhow, if I remember, I'll throw that picture up. And I mean, it's nothing drastic, but there's something in the window. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a figure or if maybe I don't know. I don't have an explanation for it. I've gotten so many. I may have had as many as a couple of thousand pictures taken of the front of the house from that camera that's in the front, and I've never gotten it in any picture that I've seen. If I have, I haven't noticed it. But I noticed it in those pictures I was just checking. But we do hear walking in the house sometimes. When you're in there alone, you'll hear somebody walking in. There's nobody in the house. And lots of knocking and tapping sounds. And it doesn't bother me. I've had almost a lifetime of paranormal activity in many of the homes that I've lived at, and I had an episode of some bad stuff that happened due to paranormal events, and changed my life. And so unless it's something bad like what I went through with the paranormal, it doesn't really bother me, the sounds, or even seeing a figure, move through the house and you go to where it went and there's nothing there. Kind of creeps me out a little bit, but it doesn't freak me out to where I have to leave or call in the priest to come. And it's not like that. I know the bad signs, what to look for. That smell of boiled eggs and that stinky smell. If you start smelling that, you got something unclean paying you a visit, and you don't need to ignore it. You need to take measures to get it out before something bad happens. And we haven't had anything like that. We've smelled some weird smells. They weren't bad, almost perfume-like. We smelled that a few times in the house. I've smelled it, Kim smelled it, Rosie smelled it. But I think it's the land. It's not the home. I think the land, there's just a lot of stuff. There's a history on this land. I don't know what the history would be, but all the paranormal stuff that I've gotten on cameras, on multiple different cameras, and we got images of, I'll just say, entities. Some of them were just brilliant colors, like light. It just looked like light. Bipedal entities that are just every color you can imagine, super bright. I've gotten 2 pictures like that. One on one camera, and 150 yards away I had another camera, and I got one on that camera, and it was, I don't remember if it was the same day that I got both of those pictures. It was very close to one another. But when I went to check those cameras, you don't check your cameras every day. But when I did go to check the cameras, I found those pictures. And it's been several years back before we got this piece of property. It's when we had the piece the house is on. And I showed a few people the pictures. I think I may have shared it here. I don't remember. And those were taken in the daytime. One of them was 7 or 8 in the morning, and the second one, I think it was close to noon. Middle of the, or the sun was out, not middle of the day, but the sun was out, very bright out. And there's a bipedal figure in front of the camera that's just solid light. The whole thing's made up of different colors of light. A lot of pinks and greens and blues, just brilliant colors. So we've caught a lot of strange stuff on camera here, and the paranormal stuff doesn't bother me as bad as the flesh and blood things. I don't care for that. It scares me. But anyhow, let me get set up, figure out what to do with the camera. I cannot mount the microphone receiver on it and set it outside because it's raining, and I don't want to mess it up. It's not raining hard at all right now. I might be able to do the articles without having to use the microphone. I may just use the built-in microphone. I'll figure it out. Hang on just a second. All right. I got out and I got one camera mounted on the hood, and I was going to set it up on a limb over here to where I had a better view of the, I'm at a junction. The road I'm on comes from behind us and it goes straight forward. There's another road right here, and cuts off to the left. But when I got out and went to set the camera up, it started raining again. And so I just got it, I got it on a, sitting on the hood. Let me open this up and we'll get these out, and we're going to share some articles. I will just add some footage of something else. I'll see what kind of footage I have on my camera or on my tablet at home. A lot of stuff I deleted after I edit the video because I don't have a lot of storage in my tablet. And due to my editor not working right in my phone, I'm stuck using my tablet to do my editing. And I can't figure it out on the computer at all. My editor is a mobile version, so to use it on the computer, I would have to purchase a computer version. And I don't know the difference in them, but I would have to do that. Sorry guys, getting phone calls again. Tried to answer it, and it's just, there's no signal down here and it's breaking up real bad. So I'll probably get multiple other calls. I can't answer them. Oh, let's see. We got a pile of different articles here. Here, we'll start with this one. I'm going to try to keep them somewhat organized so I don't end up redoing the same article twice. I hear voices. There shouldn't be anybody out here. I'm on our property and it's raining. I don't think anybody'd be out in the rain. It may just be my imagination. I've got a pretty active one. Let me see. Oh, come on. And for those of you that are new here, anytime we have articles that have pictures, the pictures, videos, whatever goes with those articles, our brother Don Moore and his channel, if I remember, I'll put it in the description in the link to this video. But he's half of Standing Goats Rescue. He helps me behind the scenes, and so he normally, because I do the articles out in the wilderness most of the time, and so it's very difficult to show because I'm doing them by paper, and because I don't get a signal, and especially out here, and I can't pull up emails. And I can take screenshots, but my phone screen will dim out, or if it's real bright out, it's really hard to see the screen. And with the battery drain, like near Jeff's corner, you can go in there with the 100% battery, and in a half hour, your phone dies. You got a dead battery. And it's just, I've tried them, doing them over the phone. Sometimes it works out good. It don't work out good here. And so I just do them by paper. Paper can't run out of batteries, and it can get wet. But anyhow, to save time and hassle of trying to hold a page up like this so you guys can see the pictures, our brother Don Moore, he does videos, and he puts the photographs that go with the articles that I share. He puts them on his channel, and he's got a lot of them, and he's done some fantastic videos with them. And this particular one has it's got photos that go with it, and it's got a video, so he's probably got it either uploaded or ready to upload. But all right, we're going to get started. Let me get a drink of my sody pop. I feel like I'm in the wide open right here. It feels weird. I thought I heard a voice or voices. All right, this is titled Terrifying Reptilian Encounter at Yosemite National Park. The year of this encounter is undisclosed, but it has been in recent years. The location is Yosemite National Park in California, which is Mariposa County. It is at one of the 3 horse stables within the park. The information source for this article is eyewitness testimony from a Yosemite Park Patrol Ranger. A ranger who reported this. The preface reads, Yosemite National Park is known for its activities, amazing wildlife, and breathtaking scenery. Thousands visit this park each year. There are 3 horse stables within the park: Yosemite Valley Stable, Wawona Stable, and Tuolumne Stable. It is one of these 3 stables that the encounter took place. It also has a mysterious, dangerous, high strangeness side to it. The sheer number of missing persons and cryptid encounters, which include Sasquatch and Dogmen. It may not be widely known that other cryptids are encountered here by park patrol rangers, ones that cause fear and feelings of evil. Such is one encounter by a park patrol ranger. The encounter. The park patrol ranger relates, when I think back on this experience, it seems very surreal, like it couldn't have possibly happened. But I know now that I'm not crazy, and many others experience similar things. I grew up in Kentucky on a horse breeding farm, so I have a love of horses that runs deep. When I got out of high school, I knew I wanted to pursue a job that involved working with horses. Some of my friends wanted to pursue veterinary medicine, but that wasn't for me. I wanted to work in an outdoor setting and not inside. Before starting college, I decided to take a year off and travel, and while traveling, I found a job that sounded right for me. While visiting Yosemite Park, they had horse-mounted park rangers that rode around most of the day, which sounded great for me. So I took a course to become a law enforcement park ranger and eventually became a Yosemite Park mounted patrol ranger. Since I already had experience with horses, part of my job was caring for them and training them. This was great. The horses were involved with a lot of duties around the park involving law enforcement, search and rescue, and educational programs. Park visitors could also pay a fee to use the horses for backcountry riding. My day started really early at 6 a.m. I would get there early to feed them and groom them. The horses always were looking out for me to get their oats and flakes of hay. A flake is a portion of measurement of a bale of hay, and to keep track of how much the horses were getting. I was half asleep one morning when going out to throw hay over the fences and got surprised by the sound of geese flapping and honking around the horses' water trough, which is inside the corral, which I had never seen them there before, and I've never seen them doing that. I kept tossing the hay over the fence while thinking about the unusual actions of the geese. For the first time, while tossing the hay over the fence, I noticed the horses had not come towards me, which they always did to get the hay. They stayed huddled together under the shelter. I went over to the gate to get inside to check on them. The gate latch was getting rusty, so I had secured the latch with a piece of wire, but the wire was missing and the gate was open about an inch, as if something had taken the wire off and went inside where the horses were. This worried me because I knew no one would have come out here earlier than me. Going over to the horses, I give them nose rubs, which I always did, and I could see how nervous they were. I had brought the oats with me, and putting some in my hand, I reached out to them, but they would not touch the oats. Meanwhile, the geese were still around the water trough inside the horse corral. Why were they doing that? I felt creeped out at this point, and I went back out of the horse corral gate and started looking around, and I caught movement on the hill behind the horse stables. A large creature appeared. It had a large head that looked like a dinosaur. No hair, just a large lizard-like head. It was standing on two legs as it turned to look right at me. It had reptilian yellow eyes. In trying to remember what its face looked like, all I remember is its yellow eyes and sharp teeth and standing upright. It was about 6 to 7 feet tall. Being 30 feet away from it, I was close enough to see its grayish, scaly reptilian skin. When we locked eyes, it reacted and shifted a bit, and it stepped to the side as if surprised that I had seen it. I had a feeling of fear and dread wash over me. I couldn't move as my heart raced. I had never felt fear like that, or since that time. There was a heaviness in my head as if the creature was putting off a feeling of evil that was affecting me physically. After a few moments of paralyzing fear, I turned back and ran back to the horses. Though I could have ran away from this area, my first instinct was to protect the horses. As soon as I did this, the creature turned away and ran back up the hill behind the stables. It ran faster than anything I've ever seen. I sounded the alarm and other rangers showed up. The rangers wanted to follow the creature on horseback, but the horses refused to go. They simply disobeyed in an unusual way and would not eat for hours following this encounter. I tried to figure out what that reptilian creature wanted. I thought surely it didn't want the oats or hay. The fact that this creature had removed the wire latch on the gate to most likely get near to the horses to attack them or eat them just made me sick to think about what could have happened. Looking the horses over carefully, they looked unharmed and physically okay. We started locking the horses in the stable at night after that. When I went to make my report out, they wanted me to say and think I had seen a mountain lion or something like that. There was no way this was a normal creature and certainly not a mountain lion. I didn't see it again, or at least at the times I or my co-workers were at the horse stables. That did not mean it still wasn't around the area. I assumed it was, and I had my guard up at all times. Wow. That's bizarre. That's definitely a crazy encounter. And if you guys are interested in seeing the pictures that go along with this article, please check out our brother Don Moore's channel. The link to his channel is in the description below. Hopefully I remember to put it in there this time. And the name of this encounter is the Terrifying Reptilian Encounter at Yosemite National Park. When you're looking to see the pictures for the articles on Don's channel, normally whatever title that I put on the video, like this video you're seeing now, that title will be in the title to the picture that he, or to the video that he creates showing the photographs. He'll add the title of the video that I shared the article with, and then he may add a side note to it. If there's multiple articles that I share at one time, whatever I title that video, he'll have that title up, and then he may do separate videos that'll have the title name in it, but then he'll put like the actual the name of the article that contains the pictures. I think I've confused everyone, and I'm sorry if I have. I'm trying to explain it in a way that you can understand. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm not gonna put these back together yet. We're gonna pull another one out. We'll just do a couple articles, and I'm not gonna make this really long, so I have a habit of doing that. And I know a lot of people don't like the real long videos, and I'm sorry, but it's just, I don't know, it's how I do things, unfortunately. Alright, well, I thought I wasn't going to put it back up, but it's going to get wet if I don't. My box is wet. Alright. We're going to pull another one. A lot of these are really long. And guys, these articles I share, they're not all about Bigfoot. We go all over the board. We share all kinds of interesting or crazy stuff. Okay, we're gonna do. We got a pile of them, and I think what I'll do, I'll share this one, and then I'll do another video in the next day or so, and we'll do some more articles. I just want to try to keep it short, so I'm not running people off, or I'm not looking to do that. We just share our life with our family here, you guys, and I like to put up stuff that's interesting that I think that others will enjoy hearing too. All right, this one, oh, we already had it set up for me. Doggone it. All right, this article is titled "Stealthy Dogman Terrifies Hikers on Mount Pisgah, Oregon." The year is 2000. The location is Mount Pisgah Trailhead in Eugene, West Central Oregon, which is Lane County. And there are several trailheads, and it could have been on any one. We don't know the exact one, I don't guess. And the information source for this article is 4 different eyewitnesses. Make sure I'm at the yeah, okay. Two young couples aged 17 to 18 years of age decided to take a hike on a trail, partly Let me start that over, you guys. I just seen something dash by and it scared me. There's nothing over there. It's probably a bird. Two young couples, 17 to 18 years of age, decided to take a hike on a trail, partly to find a place to smoke, but also to get away from their parents and to hang out together in the woods and hills. They chose one of Mount Pisgah's trailheads, and there are several different ones. Which is just outside of Eugene, Oregon. It's more of a hill than a mountain, but it's very beautiful with fields, panoramic views, and beautiful wooded areas. The main trail connects the parking area to the Willamette River. Pulling into one of these parking lots in their vehicle, they started hiking to the river, passing over a footbridge across a small creek. They spent the afternoon there at the river swimming and having fun. After a few hours, they got hungry and decided to head back right around sunset. Starting back, they walked on the well-worn trail they had come in on. It took about 20 minutes of walking to get back to the same footbridge close to the parking lot they had crossed earlier in the afternoon. The view from the footbridge looked out on a vast field that lay between the parking lot and the wooded hillside. At this point, they noticed what they thought to be a huge dog by the tree line about 300 yards away in the gathering darkness. They all described it as the biggest dog they had ever seen. It wasn't acting threatening, but it was just sitting there acting like a friendly dog would do. It was very shaggy and furry. And later in 2005, one of the eyewitnesses would do a drawing showing these features. They continued to walk across the footbridge when one of the girls screamed. What they first thought to be a dog was now standing on its hind legs and much closer to them than before. In fact, in just a few seconds, it had traversed almost the entire 300 yards across the large field. Whatever this thing was, it was quiet, fast, and stealthy. The 4 teenagers then ran to the car and fumbled for the keys out of fear, and they couldn't get the key in at first. Then they turned and they saw the upright standing dog creature right by the edge of the parking lot staring at them. They never did see it walking on all fours, but always standing on 2 legs, and every time they looked up, it was closer than before, yet it was not moving. They all recounted how surreal it was to see a huge dog standing on its hind legs. It remained unclear to them how it continued to get closer to them because they never saw it move on 2 legs or run on all 4. They sped off as fast as they could. The dog creature did not pursue them. When asked if it might have been a bear, they said it definitely was not a bear, but a huge dog standing on its hind legs, shaggy and furry. This part of Oregon and Lane County is not known to have bears, or at least not very often. Even to this day, the eyewitnesses refuse to talk about what happened to them 23 years ago out of fear and how creepy the whole encounter was. In conclusion, what makes this Dogman encounter slightly different than the normal one and more creepier is that every time the 4 eyewitnesses saw this creature, including the first time when it was down on all 4s in a sitting position 300 yards away, and then 2 more times standing on 2 legs, is that as it got closer and closer, it never moved. It just stared at them. How did it run so fast from one point to the next in just a matter of seconds, in between the eyewitnesses turning their heads to look? It bears the question, was it using a portal or using interdimensional hopping, so to speak, to change positions to get closer to the eyewitnesses? Was it stalking them and toying with them to say, I can outrun you to your vehicle, but let's see how fast you can run? For certain, this creature was fast, stealthy, and stalking them all the way back to their vehicle. Whatever means it was using, it was advancing on them fast. Perhaps it was just doing what many animals do, such as small and large cats when they are stalking a target. Simply change positions very quickly when their intended target turns their head for a few moments. And that's the end of that article. And guys, this one also has pictures with it. Brother Don has a video put together for this article as well as the first one. And I'm just going to, we're only going to do these 2 articles right now to keep this video short. And it'll make it easier when Brother Don puts these articles together. He'll only have two sets of pictures for 2 articles, and it'll make things a little easier on his end as well. But we will definitely be doing more articles. I may even get to them tomorrow. It's supposed to rain. It's supposed to have bad weather, just like we got today. Hopefully we don't have the wind and the lightning that we had. If it's just like it is right now, just rain without wind and lightning, then we may come up and set up somewhere. If I could put a cover over the camera to keep the microphone receiver dry, then we may go out in the brush out here somewhere and set up the camera with the microphone on it. That was a weird sound. It sounded almost like a, I don't know, like a frog. The frog, that croaking noise they make, but it was real deep sounding, bassy sounding. I got the windows up, and it may be on video if my talking didn't bleed it out, run over it. I gotta get that camera off the hood. I think I'm gonna leave it up there for right now. I'll just pull out and once I get out of the woods, back up on the open property. I keep seeing movement. I'm sure it's birds. I get skidded out pretty quickly, pretty easily. I'm gonna crank up. We're gonna get going. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I hope everyone's having an amazing day so far, and if you're in the path of these storms, you guys, please be careful. If you have a weather radio, keep that thing on, listen to it, pay attention to if you get the emergency broadcast to your phone when tornadoes and things of that sort are in your area. Please pay attention to that. We're going through solar minimal with our sun, and it's making the storms, weather conditions, far worse than what they would normally be. And we don't need any of you getting hurt or worse, and we definitely don't want you to lose your home or your vehicle. We only got one shot at this life, and we don't need to spend it riding a bicycle because our vehicle got destroyed, or living with other people because we don't have a home. But we love you all and wish the very best to you. Hope life treats you well. If there's anything that you would like to share with the rest of us here at Standing Goats Rescue, please shoot me an email. If there's anything I can do to help you, send me an email. Let me know what's going on, and I will absolutely do my best. Can't promise anything, but we can absolutely try. Yeah, it is so weird out here right now. Everything's dark. But I'm heading back. I gotta go back up to the house and get some rice. Kim needs a bag of rice out of the house. As soon as I get the post finished, we're going to be stretching fence wire. Then we're going to be moving animals. Then we're going to be moving in. I have to get the fence done. I know it's taking a long time, but I don't have any help. Rosie's helped me 2 days in a row with these with the tensioners that I'm putting up on the corners and where these tension posts are at. She's been a lot of help in doing that, but she can't help me run the fence wire. I don't want her to get her hands inside that wire, and if it starts spooling, back spooling, when you start rolling fence wire out, sometimes it'll spool inside of itself, and if your fingers are in it, it will grind you up like hamburger. I don't want her to get her hands messed up. But we will be doing it soon. I'm going to try to get some footage. I've been meaning to set the camera up, show you guys how I'm putting these posts up by myself. But it takes over a half hour to set one pole. And I'm doing it I'm drilling the hole with the tractor, but I'm setting the pole by hand, and it takes a long time. And you can't work but only so fast in the heat that we've been having. It's been from the low 90s up to the low hundreds. I think the hottest day we had was 105. And we've had a lot of days that it was 101 to 103, kind of right up in there. And it's just hard to get much done when it's that hot out. My lungs ain't in good shape, and I just don't do very well in that high humidity. Florida's humidity and heat combined is a killer. It is hard to do anything outdoors in the summer months. I wish I was in Alaska during the summer and down here during the winter. But anyhow, I'll see you guys soon. Y'all be blessed in all you do. Be safe and be kind. We love you all, and I will absolutely be seeing you guys very soon. Trying to get to a point to do a live show. I cannot do it right now. I tried to get one done Saturday, but Kim's daughter from Arkansas was here. Her husband came over. They stay up very late. It's very loud, and it is 100% impossible to do a live show right now. But anyhow, we'll make it happen. We'll do it here in the very near future. I'm definitely going to be doing it when we get moved in, because we have the Starlink system here. I don't have it turned on yet. I'll have to wait till the 1st of next month when I get my check, and we'll get it up and going. As soon as we get it up, I will be testing it to see if it can handle a live show. I hope it does. It may not handle it, but if it don't, it don't. At least we'll have a way Rosie can get her homework done. She's got to have internet for homework. That's the whole reason for us getting the Starlink. We got to have something, and I need something fast enough and good enough that I can upload videos, and Starlink is the way to go here. There's 3 total internet options. One of them is just we can't afford it. It's $300 a month. It's fast, but I just can't afford it, and it's business accounts only, so I would have to set it up as business, and it would be extremely expensive. The other one is HughesNet and Starlink. HughesNet isn't no good in our area. I don't know how it is elsewhere, but it's no good here. And so Starlink is sort of our only choice, only option. But I'll see you guys soon. Have a good evening. God bless you all. We'll see you down the road.